Hey, and a good evening. Meteorologist Chris Smith here, 19 minutes after 6 o'clock on this Saturday evening. I talked to you a little bit about it yesterday that we might do a live show today. Typically, we don't do a live show on the weekends just so we can have a little semblance of a normal life. But, you know, because of the threat of severe weather tomorrow, we talked about maybe doing it. And then now we have a higher risk of severe weather for Sunday. And so I thought maybe I should go ahead and do that. So I just got done putting a whole bunch of updates on the channel. So all the content on the channel is refreshed. And so that will be playing if you weren't watching already, but when it's done, so that it's there. But I wanted to do something live to maybe either answer a few questions, but just tell y'all a little bit about that severe weather risk that we're looking at for your Sunday. But I hope everyone had a nice Saturday. It was a pretty nice day weather-wise. Got up into the 70s, nice conditions. Let's see, Charlie had flag football last night, and they both had basketball today. Both lost, but they had fun. And then went over to North Beach Social and hung out, let the kids play in the sand and stuff there for a little bit. And then back here to do work this afternoon. Kaylani, Tammy, Becky, Pamela, thank you very much for tuning in. And thanks for bringing some folks along, tagging them in it and letting them know what's up. Let's see, Ashley, good evening. But anyway, so this is your fashionably late live edition of Panhandle Weather at 6 o'clock. But thought we could just go ahead and run through a little bit of what's going on, what the threats are, what the time frame of everything is. Mr. McAllister, you're very welcome. But we'll talk a little bit about that. Dan is in town. I actually saw him with the whites of my own two eyes today. And we will be covering the severe weather tomorrow. So when it moves into the Western Panhandle, we'll go live and we'll just kind of cover it over the course of the day to keep you all posted, because we're a weather channel and that's what we're going to do. So we will own that weather coverage and keep you all posted with the latest. Hope we don't see anything severe, but you know what? Even if we don't see a severe thunderstorm, that doesn't mean that it's not going to be like, what's going on? Well, we're going to be here to talk about it and get you all through it. So anyway, that's what we signed up for and that's what we're going to do. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on weather-wise across Northwest Florida. We got some pictures today. Hello, Kelly from Greenhead and Laverne and Tammy. Man, look at everyone jumping in the chat. Miss Kathy, you're very welcome. It's what we're here for. The Yoopers, look at that view there. That's gorgeous. The water showing off. The wind hadn't picked up too much yet, so it was still kind of glassy there early in the day. Miss Kathy Wilson, Jean Weeks, who's one of man, I've known Miss Jean since I moved here. She lives up in Calhoun County, but her sister lives near San Angelo, Texas. And look at that wintry mess that they're dealing with out there across Texas. And then David Wesley, you can definitely see those cloudy skies this evening. Renee, Jonna, Teresa, Wendy, Kelly, Doyle. My goodness, y'all are busy. It's Saturday night. Y'all should be out painting the town red. Lori from Mexico Beach, Chase. But instead, you're inside like me with nothing better to do on a Saturday than to watch some guy on YouTube and Facebook talk about the weather. Arthur, and there's David Wesley. Good to see you. Taria. Anyway, so there's your picture, David. Submit your pictures and videos on our website right there. Tomorrow, maybe it's going to be the rough water on the bays or out on the Gulf you could do, or maybe if you happen to capture something, a thunderstorm as it approaches, do it so safely. But you can share it there. You can email it to me. You can post it through Facebook. We'll find it. That's the easiest way because that's the place I check first. Kathy on the way home from Mobile. Nice. Joyce. Haley. My goodness. It is an active chat this evening. I appreciate y'all so much. So outside, we've seen some changes. Dew point is up to 60 right now. Temperature 64. Wind is out of the east to southeast. You can definitely see some rumbling around out there as far as the water's concerned. It's starting to get a little churned up. I won't be surprised to see some fog develop tonight across parts of our area, just because there's going to be so much moisture in the atmosphere. There you can see east-southeast wind at 12 miles an hour. You can tell the difference in the temperatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables at least outside right now over at Sharky's. Good evening, Gary and Alida, Miss Rhonda and Tammy and Gina. We appreciate y'all. So this is Schooners. They're up on February 2nd, I'm told, Groundhog Day. But you can see there's a little bonfire ongoing out there this evening. And you see the flag flapping around a little bit more. That wind's picking up, and that's going to be a big story tomorrow. It's breezy now. Tomorrow's just going to be downright windy. I was going to go swimming tomorrow. Ooh, I don't know about that. Well, I mean, you'll be able to the first part of the day. It's just going to be really rough out there on the Gulf. I wouldn't recommend it. I expect we'll see double red flags. High temperatures since midnight, 60s and 70s across our area today. But most of us, if you weren't right on the water, we're up into the 70s. Right now, we're all into the 60s, and you'll see we're a good bit warmer than this time yesterday with that warm, moist southerly wind. So live Doppler radar, let's take a look at it across our neck of the woods. Nothing right now. A little shower activity over towards northern Escambia counties, but most of us are dry. You can see that activity out there is mostly going to slide north of us, at least for tonight. This isn't going to really impact too much of us across our area. Then as you go up into Knoxville, you see the wintry mix, Johnson City, Asheville, just plain old rain in Atlanta right now. It hasn't switched over to freezing rain. You can see it's changing over into a freezing rain scenario, Huntsville and up through Murfreesboro. Look at all the snow up into Kentucky and Ohio, Indianapolis, down through St. Louis and into Missouri. That goes down into Oklahoma and into the Panhandle of Texas. Wide-ranging storm system continues to impact a good chunk of the country, and you see that snow right now out there towards San Angelo that we were talking about. Now, this is what you came for, so let's talk a little bit about it. This will be a little bit of a taste test here before we get into the little bit more in-depth discussion on the severe weather threat. But they did upgrade our area to a slight risk of severe weather. So it's basically a level 2 risk of severe weather across parts of Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, all with that slight risk of severe weather, including the risk of tornadoes. Right now, it's going to be in the Miss Jean. I just was talking about you a few moments ago. So I showed your sister's picture from out there in Texas. That slight risk of severe weather, that's about a 15% chance of seeing severe weather within 15 miles of where you are. But notice it includes the whole Panhandle from Tallahassee to Pensacola, is yellow, indicating that slight risk of severe weather. Again, a level 2 threat. Higher than what it was yesterday when they were talking about it was a level 1 threat. Now, the tornado threat is a 5% chance. So what does that mean? Within 25 miles of where you are, there is a 5% chance of seeing a tornado. Again, not overly high. And so I like to emphasize that. It's not 0, okay? But it's not overly high as far as like, you know, I don't want you to like think about like, there's just gonna be tornadoes all over the place. You know, it's still a fairly low chance at 5% within 25 miles of where you are. So even with severe weather, if a tornado comes to kind of where you are, it's like kind of winning the lottery in reverse. Obviously, not a good thing, but it's not terribly likely. So, you know, just be aware, but certainly not any reason to overly stress about it. Just be aware. Now, the wind threat will be a little bit higher, 15% chance. So within 25 miles of where you are, there's a 15% chance of seeing damaging wind. So our winds right now are out of the southeast to east, okay? As we move through the overnight hours tonight, we'll see those winds begin to pick up out of the south and east. Notice what happens as we head into Sunday. Those winds getting up there 15 miles an hour during the overnight hours into Sunday morning. As we move through Sunday morning through about lunchtime, you'll see the winds turn more southerly, so more direct right along the coastline. And look at the winds. These are sustained winds. 20, 16, 18, 20. It gives you an idea. It is going to be really, really windy on Sunday, and I think we could see some of these numbers as gusts right around 30 miles per hour. And those winds will stay elevated pretty much all day Sunday, even as that line of storms, which at this point at noon would still be back to the west. But then there you can see the squall line racing on through. The winds turn out of the northwest. They're lighter, but they're still really windy, and that will bring in that cold air and see those temperatures just tumble as we head into Monday. Wind chill values will be tumbling as well down into the teens and 20s. So, futurecast this evening, you see, again, some showers could clip the western panhandle, but we're not expecting much tonight. Other than that, cloudy skies tonight. The winds are picking up. That's it. Nothing going on for church tomorrow morning. It's still okay. David, water spouts? It's certainly possible. If they do, these are not like summer water spouts. These are tornadic water spouts. So we'll watch those cells as they come off the Gulf. Now, Sunday morning, again, for church, you're fine. Now, getting out of church, it starts to become a little bit of a race, as we have that line of storms at 12:30 moving into, say, the Pensacola area, Pensacola, Mobile, Baldwin County, And then as we make our way through, say, 2:30, moving through Okaloosa County and down through Navarre, then moving through Walton County and into Bay County. So by 5 o'clock, the storms are moving through Mariana to Panama City, basically like the 231 corridor, And so you still see, it still hasn't rained in Blountstown or Liberty County, Franklin County, Gulf County. So for a decent chunk of our area, it will be windy tomorrow. It will be mild for sure, way up into the 70s, but it will be mainly dry. So there are people tomorrow that a good chunk of your Sunday will not be a washout, despite the fact that nasty storms will eventually move across our area, but it could take till 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock for it to get to Panama City, meaning everything before that is going to be okay. And then we'll see a few lingering showers as the front moves off to the east. Now, for us tonight, we'll stay right around 60 degrees. That's going to be it. Cloudy skies, again, not much rainfall, should be dry. Now, as we head into tomorrow morning, again, 58, 59, 60, 63, it'll be very mild as we start off day on Sunday. So, let's see, extreme cold watch. I'm just looking at the little ticker there on the screen. Now, as we look across the country, there's your big winter storm system moving up into the northeast. There's your squall line that will move through here. Here's the cold weather on the backside of it. Coming up in just a minute, I think we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about the severe weather threat. We'll look at some of the helicity, the spin in the atmosphere, why we have that tornado threat tomorrow, but we'll also talk about the cold weather. It is going to be bitterly cold Monday and Tuesday in particular, as in feels like temperatures Tuesday morning will be in the teens. And air temperatures could be in the teens as well for inland areas. And we'll see a hard freeze all the way down to the beaches. So the coldest air of the season is coming to our area, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When it comes to building, local experience matters. At Mid-South Lumber, our team knows the job, and we'll help you get it right the first time. From weekend DIY projects to full custom builds, you'll get solid materials, fair prices, and service you won't find at a big box store. That's why we're the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. Mid-South Lumber. Shop local. Build with confidence. Let's quote your next project today.
We're proud to bring you the most popular cars in the world, like the stylish Camry and the sporty Corolla. Get award-winning style and 2.99% APR on a new Camry, named Best New Model by Kelley Blue Book. Plus, you get 90 days until you make your first payment. Curb appeal comes standard on the new Corolla, designed to wow from the inside out. Get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until your first payment. Panama City Toyota, your Camry and Corolla headquarters.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
And welcome back. I hope you're having a good evening tonight. A rare edition of Panhandle Weather Live at 6 on the weekend. But as I mentioned, we wanted to do something just to kind of talk a little bit about the severe weather threat tomorrow. It is a level 2 threat of severe weather. So this is, since we launched the channel 3.5 months ago, this will be the highest severe weather threat we've seen. But that's not to say this is earth-shattering. We see quite a few slight severe weather risks over the course of a year. But again, the first since we started doing this. So wanted to give you guys an update, just a heads up, because we can kind of get lulled to sleep when it comes to the weather, especially when the winter storm takes all the headlines and then like, oops, look at that, severe weather in Florida. So that'll be a possibility. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about that across our area. Valerie, morning car duty this week, 7:10 start time. What do I wear? Oh, okay, so remember A Christmas Story and Ralphie's brother? Like, you just want to dress like Ralphie's brother. I think that would be probably the best way to describe how you should dress. Now, my wife would tell you, my wife would be getting jealous of Valerie because she'll ask me like what to wear. And it's like my biggest pet peeve, like, don't ask me what to wear. I'll tell you the temperature and then you have to make those decisions, because now you're making me make a choice on what you're wearing and I have to suffer the repercussions. So no matter what, I'm probably going to get in trouble. So my wife will tell you that, like, just don't ask them like what to wear. What I'll tell you is, Monday morning will be below freezing. And it will feel like probably the teens. So do that with it as you may. Okay, let's go ahead and get down to business here. So here's what's going to be happening as far as our forecast headlines across the Panhandle. It will be windy, warm, and humid for your Sunday. Now the storm threat is Sunday afternoon, so after lunch. So I think you can get church in. It's like when you start going out to lunch after church, you're starting to play with fire, especially as you get into like Walton, Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, Escambia counties. It's going to start getting a little bit tighter, that window, as that storm threat begins to move in. And then next week is the coldest air of the season. So like at my house, I live relatively close to the water. I've seen like near freezing temperatures, maybe about 31, 32, 33, right around in there. But I haven't seen anything in the 20s, and we'll get down, even at my house, probably into the mid-20s by Tuesday morning. So that's like cover up the pipes, that kind of stuff for the beaches. My inland friends have already done it a bunch, but even this cold spell will be the coldest for you. So even colder than the 22, 23 that you've been at. I think we could drop down to 19, 20, 21 degrees Tuesday morning. So coldest air of the season. So let's talk about right now over in the St. George Island. Again, mild weather, winds are out of the east at 10 miles an hour. I got 0 tables outside right now over at the Blue Parrot. Panama City, just a little bit of a ripple there on the water, east-southeast wind at 12, but this will only pick up as we move over the course of the next 24 hours, as we'll see those winds pick up across our area, and that will start to churn up the water, both bays and along the coastline. St. Andrews, look at that, looking out towards the port there in Panama City. You can definitely see some clouds, and it wouldn't surprise me if a few of us ended up seeing maybe a little bit of fog tonight. So cloudy skies, slow to cool. We'll stay pretty much steady, right around 60 degrees tonight. Look at the winds. Winds will start off in the morning into that, tonight we'll be into that 10-mile-an-hour range. And then notice by 11 tomorrow, we're at 20 miles an hour. So even when you go to church, if it's not windy, by the time you get out, the hair is going to be going sideways. And then the winds die down briefly in the evening as the front comes through, but then the winds pick back up. And that's where that dangerous wind chill starts coming from Monday and Tuesday. So see that southeasterly flow, start to see the winds pick up. It becomes a southerly flow Sunday morning, 15 to 20 miles an hour sustained. Gusts, I think, could get close to 30 miles an hour. And then there you see, you notice the winds kind of die down briefly. They turn out of the northwest, but then those winds pick up Sunday night into Monday, and we back up there into the 15 to 20 mile an hour range on top of freezing temperatures. And that's why it feels like temperatures could end up in the teens Monday morning. And then Tuesday morning will be colder, but the wind will be a little bit less, but it will still feel like the teens across our area. So those winds Monday night, again, you'll see them continuing to stay elevated, and that's why the wind chill is going to be a bit of an issue. And you see that right there on the screen. We also have a wind advisory. So we have extreme cold weather advisory, wind advisory, rip current advisory, and then the risk of severe weather Sunday afternoon. Low temperatures tonight near 60, high temperatures tomorrow in the 70s. A little bit warmer to the east because, again, the storms will take longer to get there. A little bit cooler to the west because, again, the storms will be there by about lunchtime in Pensacola. And then look at these temperatures Monday morning, 20s Pensacola, Crestview, and you'll see that cold air beginning to come in. But this is like the leading edge, so we'll be barely freezing. So you won't have to worry about the pipes and stuff necessarily Sunday night, but Monday night for sure. But what I'll tell you is I would go ahead and take all these precautions Sunday morning, because then, you know, Sunday afternoon will be stormy. You won't want to do it then, and then it'll be getting cold, and do you really want to do it in the cold? So I would just maybe do it tonight or tomorrow morning, and then you're all set. And we're going to see cold weather for quite a few days, so it's not like one and done. Like, you'll have to take these precautions several days, so you just put it out there and let it go. Do its job. Monday, look at these highs on Monday, 40s. That is it. So again, you start off with Valerie in the car line Monday morning, and we'll bring it back here. You're into the 20s and 30s. It feels like the teens. And then the afternoon car line, you're still into the 40s across our area. So bitterly cold weather plunging down to the south, record cold temperatures. There's the leading edge of all of this. On the backside is the cold air, and on the leading edge, that's your front with the severe weather threat on Sunday. So plenty of snow well north of us, especially up into the Ohio River Valley and into the northeast. Ice down across the south Sunday morning, moving into the mid-Atlantic over the course of the day, into the Appalachians, the lee side of the Appalachians, as we head into Sunday. And then that front comes through. Right there it is. And with that, deep moisture and that line of strong showers and thunderstorms. So let's watch it out here. This is the wider view of everything. There's your front lifting to the north. You see all the icy weather up here, the snow on top of that. There's your line of severe storms. And here comes the record cold temperatures, near record cold temperatures, on the backside of that front. So this is your one chance, though, for rain this week. Next weekend, we'll worry about that later. It's pretty small, but Sunday is it. So it's not going to be a drought buster, but it will give us at least ½ inch of rain, possibly an inch of rain. We'll see. Slight severe weather risk. Again, that covers all of Northwest Florida from Pensacola to Tallahassee. 15% chance, slight risk. We haven't seen one of those, well, since we launched the channel, so you'd have to go back quite a ways. Now, when we talk about the wind threat, as we talked about, 15% chance within 25 miles of where you are that there would be wind damage, okay? Or a severe weather wind threat, 58 miles an hour, okay? Within 25 miles, so 15%, so not zero, but it's not exceptionally high by any stretch. And then the tornado threat is going to be at 5% within 25 miles where you are, and that includes all of our area. So we look at those rain chances. We're low tonight, and then we pop up a little bit, and then we go up through the afternoon. Now, this is kind of like, the timing is like Panama City, okay? But obviously, it's a little bit earlier, like 12-1 Pensacola, and then moving off to the east. So let's talk about, there's your wintry weather, there's your icy weather, And then out there's your low, okay? And so think about it like this. So the low is pulling this warm, moist air and running it up into this air mass here, which is precipitating it. And at the surface, it's cold because it's cold, dense air, and you get freezing rain. And up here, it's plenty cold to support snow. But down here, we have thunderstorms. And so what we'll watch is this line in this cold front moves off to the east. There's your line of thunderstorms moving through our area. So by 3 o'clock, it's moving through Okaloosa County into Walton County and stretching out into the Gulf, giving you that idea of timing. And this will be a pretty strong line of storms. Damaging wind, the primary threat. Can't rule out tornadoes. You see Mariana down through Panama City. And then as it moves east, it does lose a little bit of its punch. You don't see as much rainfall, and that's why we'll see lesser rainfall out here, more rainfall towards Pensacola, but probably nothing more than about an inch. And you see that. There's your rainfall, a little bit more out to the west. Lightning. Let's talk about lightning. This is an exclusive product, our lightning tracker. Not a prolific lightning event, but even notice lightning potential into Mississippi. And that is with freezing rain. And then even into the western panhandle, you see some of that. Again, it's on the isolated side, but it does illustrate there will be thunderstorms that will be sliding through, and that's where we'll be watching for the threat of severe weather. Now, this is an interesting graphic. And this is our supercell potential. So this is illustrating where do we have spin in the atmosphere in order to get supercell thunderstorms. Supercell thunderstorms can produce tornadoes. And you see these little dots kind of on the map. Now, when we posted this online, and this is like something for us to remember, is like when you look at this, that doesn't mean that there's going to be a tornado in Freeport, okay? I want you to look at this and think of it as in like, oh, look, there's definitely some spin in the atmosphere, and that doesn't mean that it's going to be here or here or here. It could be anywhere, but it just gives you a general idea that in the atmosphere, there's definitely going to be the potential for some rotation. Now, I also wanted to show you that as we move up into Alabama, there's definitely an area that shows a little bit more rotation up. Say, well, this is Dothan right here, okay, north of Dothan, so kind of between Dothan and Montgomery. So that will be something we'll keep an eye on, that maybe the rotation potential is a little bit higher to our north and a little bit lower here, but again, it's not zero. So that's something that we want to just kind of be cognizant of with this threat of severe weather. And then as you move east, notice the severe threat begins to go away. You don't see as many of those little dots on the map. And remember the tornado threat, it was 5% here, and then it dropped to 2% over near Tallahassee. So that diminishing threat from the west and off to the east. Now, all of them still have at least some potential, though. Now, here are your temperatures. Look at this. This is Monday morning. So again, you're going off to work and school Monday. It's near freezing. It will feel like probably the teens. As you move over the course of the day, watch what happens. Only in the 40s. Mid-40s is about all you're going to be able to do on Monday. As we head through Monday night, look at the temperatures. Dropping down into the 20s. Tuesday morning, you're near the teens. And then mid-20s potentially down to the coastline. So we're all going to need to bundle up. We're all going to need to take the precautions, people, pets, pipes, plants, even the beaches, which we haven't had to do at the beaches as far as the pipes. Look at these feels like temperatures Monday morning. So there's poor Miss Valerie out at the bus pickup line or drop-off line. And there you see, we're into the teens and 20s. Over the course of the day on Monday, feels like temperatures probably stay in the 30s, maybe 40 degrees with the wind, okay? And then Monday night, Tuesday, the winds die down a teeny bit, but they're elevated enough that with the colder temperatures, the coldest morning is Tuesday morning, feels like temperatures, I say teens, it might be below the teens, maybe 10, 11, 12 for that wind chill on Tuesday morning. And this cold weather is not going anywhere anytime soon, as this big trough of low pressure stays across the eastern United States and is just funneling cold air here through next weekend. And you see that once we get through tomorrow. Like, you like warm weather, and then it's like, farewell. Look at the temperatures over the next week. Coast and inland, 40s and 50s. That's it. And when we say 50s, it could be low 50s. And low temperatures, you know, the coast has struggled to hit freezing this winter, and we could have every day below freezing every morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row maybe. Look at the inland, low 20s, mid to upper 20s. Just ridiculous. January into February, cold weather across the east. And then cold weather all across the Panhandle as far as the likelihood. And even going in through the first week of February, still pretty likely to see below average temperatures across our area. Here's that 7-day forecast. High temperatures this next week, mainly in the 40s to near 50. That, my friends, is it at the coast. Inland areas, the same story. You got one decent chance of rain. That is going to be tomorrow. It will be thunderstorms, and it will be a risk of severe weather. Not high by any stretch, but it is possible, and it's the highest risk of severe weather we've had going back to, well, before we launched on October 1st. So there you go. Anyway, so that's where we are. Popsicles all week. Yes, you will. It will be cold. Snow on Saturday. Well, okay. Let's see here. I want to remind you. Let's get into that. I wasn't planning to even talk about like that snow potential, but I want to remind you to download the Panhandle weather app if you haven't already. If you already have it, make sure to tell your friends about it. So, you know, because the great thing about the app is that you're able to, to watch all the coverage on the app. It's right there when you open it up, which makes it super, super convenient. So please make sure to let your friends know about it, okay? And that's awesome. So over 15,000 of you have downloaded the app, which is just incredible. So let's start talking. Someone asked about snow and Saturday, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Let me, let's see, let's go links full. We can remove that, and we're going to links full. Okay, so you're not going to see me, but you can check it out. So this is this week. It's obviously cold. Now, if you look real carefully, down here to the south, okay, there's a little disturbance. This is the Euro model. It slides south. Okay, that is where, if we saw snow this weekend, that's where it has to come from. And it is critical, where is this low pressure area? You can see the low well south of us. And there's plenty of cold air up here. So the question becomes, can you get the moisture into the cold air? And right now, the Euro says it's going to stay too far to the south, okay? And so that's what the Euro says. Now, the other day, let's see, we'll look at the GFS, United States, Southeast, precipitation type. Okay, so we have this right here, and this is now into Saturday, and it doesn't have anything, but it did. And then you can see, here comes a low, another low next Sunday night, Monday, that brings at least a mix of some precipitation here. And you see how the placement of the low is. It's a little bit farther north in the Euro. And then also, too, it is later, meaning Sunday night, Monday, as opposed to on Saturday. So it does show a little bit of something there. Now, let's go inspect this. And we'll look at the ensembles, and we'll look at Florida. And we'll come down here to Panama City, and we'll look at our matrix, snowfall matrix. We go to the European model, and it says there's 2 out of 50 that say we could get snow, okay? So it doesn't correlate, but also, too, the operational Euro did nothing, okay? So let's go over here to the GFS, and we'll go Florida. We'll come back down here, Panama City, and they do a 10-day snow matrix, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here's 5 out of 30, okay? So 1 out of 6, so that's what, 15%? It's called Panhandle weather, Jennifer. And as a matter of fact, I think here, I can link.to/panhandle weather. Link.to. There you go. So I think that you click that, it should take you either to the Apple Store or the Google Store, depending upon which device. It automatically does it. Now here's the crazy one. If you look at like Ensemble member 24, dumps a foot of snow across our area on the GFS. So there you go. The Euro AI was last night was pretty aggressive with it. So let's look at that. So you see that big swath there. And then now it does nothing, okay? But if you go back to nothing this morning, it was definitely, I think, last night. There's that. But there it is. Okay, I knew it was there. Okay, so it was the 18Z run yesterday. The Euro AI did, but the current Euro AI has nothing. So anyway, that, my friends, is kind of where things are. So for those of you that were asking about snow, there is a little bit of information. So there's not much to support it right now. A few runs have in recent days shown it, but that is about it. So Joyce, there you go. Jennifer, you're welcome. Megan, Ashley, and the live. Okay, let you know when you're going live. Facebook doesn't. Exactly. So yeah, Facebook, the problem with Facebook is great because there's so many of you obviously on the chat there, but it's like kind of one of those things that like you have to like hope you see it or it gets fed to you, or like you risk like, oh, you'll see the stream like a day after the fact. You know, that's the annoying thing about Facebook. So, well, one of many things, but it is what it is. There are a lot of you out there, and we are very grateful to at least have them disseminate our content. Lightning shouldn't be bad. There will be some lightning, but it shouldn't be bad. You're welcome, William. Kirsty, you're welcome. Tyler, you're right. That's the pattern you want. Yeah, I mean, with all this cold air, the more cold air you have, the more opportunities you have for something to slip through the cracks and get you a little bit of snow. But right now, it's iffy at best, for sure. You know, although you'll see people post stuff, and it's always shockingly like the worst case scenario, like the one GFS run that dumped a foot of snow, that kind of stuff. And then it's like, it never comes back. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure. But anyway, that's your update. Like I said, I put a whole bunch of updates on the channel, and you'll have fresh content for in the morning as well. And then the plan is we'll go live tomorrow when the storms kind of move into the Western Panhandle, and we'll just cover them over the course of the day. So as they approach your house, tune in, and as they move past, you can tune out. And we'll give you the all clears for every county as well. Dan will be here, and I will be here, and we will get you through the storms. Hopefully not too bad, but again, it's a slight risk of severe weather. The best, I say best, it's not good, but like the highest risk that we've had since we launched the channel. but not unusual by any stretch. So y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to go hang out with the family for a little bit and have a little bit of dinner. Y'all be good. But thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. And I will see you for sure live tomorrow afternoon, if not sooner. But again, lots of updates on the channel.